Says we're live. I'm not seeing it yet on the channel, so if you're there, hello. I'm just getting set up. We are going to be doing a coin review of LunarX and its platform, its network, and I'm just trying to see if it's coming up on the chat. There might be a little delay here. I'm still not seeing it. Oh, live now. Here we go. Okay, great. If it's coming up, turn that off. All right, guys, we're live. It's been verified. I did this earlier and did 5 minutes of fumble. The learning curve is big here. I need my own personal Yoda. Anyway, Skycoin and LunarX. LunarX is a platform and a network that is really interesting. We're going to look at that today. If you are just a newbie and you don't know anything about the blockchain or apps or anything like that, this is probably going to be confusing for you. If you are a programmer and you know coding and you know a lot of stuff, you're probably going to go, boy, this guy is really stumbling through this. But I'm going to try to share it as I understand it, the bits and pieces. Go a little bit technical as far as white paper goes, to the few that are in my audience that are a little technical, and then go over the coin and how it could benefit you, and how this really is going to affect the ecosystem and why it is needed, and that this partnership between LunarX and Skycoin I think is a good thing, especially if you're a Skycoin person or if you understand what's going on in the internet and how huge what's happening with AI, artificial intelligence, the blockchain, the ledger, smart tokens, smart contracts such as that. And if you're interested in a truly decentralized Internet of Things, then you're going to want to stick with us. If you're just interested in cryptocurrency and you want to try to pick up a few things, then great, do that. We also have videos on basics and things like that you can look through. First off, I want to thank my subscribers and thank those that comment. I do appreciate you, appreciate your support. I'm glad that you appreciate our down home style. We keep the language clean here, family friendly, and hope you like that. And also you get a different point of view. With that leads me into my disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give advice of any kind. Cryptocurrency speculative, you can lose all your money. But then again, you know, there's a lot of opportunity here, or I wouldn't be here trying to give you other things to think about and to chew on and to look at. So with that, let's get right into it. This will primarily be a review of the LunarX network and the token, the LX token. So I have downloaded the white paper. I read through this the other day, and it is pretty technical. There's a technical white paper, there is a business white paper, and there's a couple other, I guess there would be additions to that you can look at and get more information. I did find this on medium.com. If you're not familiar with medium.com, there's some good articles out there. And this gentleman here, Charles Bivens, it's Bivins. He did this on July the 26th. And he went over the white page. You can tell it's very much written like the white page, the business page, and some of the technical stuff is drawn out. And he's kind of condensed it where it's pretty understandable. Well, I've even condensed it more because it is a hefty technical program. So let's get right into it. Realize for a few minutes, for several minutes, we're going to go into a little bit of the technical stuff. I'm going to run through that pretty quickly, so there might be some jargon you're not familiar with. Just bear with us, and then we'll talk about the tokens and things like that that the general audience might be more inspired by, right? Okay, so LunarX is the token is a LX token. It is a cryptocurrency. They did not have an ICO. They did not do any crowdfunding. They are a middleware designed to enable distributed data service. So I just kind of want to put this in my own words for a minute. Here's what's going on, guys. You got the blockchain. And I'm going to try to really simplify this. The blockchain is just blocks that are leading from one transfer to the other, like Bitcoin. And the hashing is, you know, the cryptographic way of securing these blocks and making sure that the money gets from one person to the other person as you type it in. If you mistype it, then, you know, hey, too bad, you lost your money. But it's very safe, very, very secure, and nobody's hacked Bitcoin blockchain per se. So that is kind of like the cryptocurrency, you know, 0.10, right? And then 2 came along Ethereum. Ethereum, if you're not familiar with it, it has included things that are called smart contracts under the EC20 platform. There's other platforms that are familiar to that, and that's another whole nother conversation. But what that enables is the elimination of the middleman in a lot of situations, opening up a whole variety of business opportunities to employ smart contracts, to do transactions, to do agreements, to do payments. You could just see how banks are scared of this stuff, and a lot of different things, escrow companies, things like this. Middleman type companies could be done away with because we know that email and things on the internet are now, you know, legal in court here in the US. If you have an email, that serves as a, you know, evidence. So it is contractual what we do on the internet under certain formats. A smart contract is very good for doing that. Boy, it's huge. So what's missing? Well, there's a lot of things that are happening right now with AI, which is artificial intelligence, robotics, drones, you know, the virtual reality, the gaming, the things like this. It takes so much data. It's huge. And the things that are on the horizon that people want to do, the internet, the blockchain, if you're familiar with the blockchain, Bitcoin alone uses enough power just to keep its ledger up and to, you know, mine coins and to make transactions take place, that it could power a small country. And I'm not joking, okay? So utilizing cheaper ways of doing things through nodes and stuff that we'll go into where the power consumption is low, decentralizing the internet, the storage and the application and the usage between sender and receiver and such is something that you should be interested in if you don't like the way things are overregulated. You should be interested in that. With all this stuff going on, folks, there is nothing big enough in the blockchain or even the internet for that reason that can handle all this and what's happening in the future. Just think of a virtual reality where you walk through a city and you see through the buildings and you see what you want. You see the furniture and you see the piping. You see everywhere, okay? Everything's mapped. A drone flies through and knows where to go and not hit your car or a building, okay? And go point A, point B. A truck drives up by itself, unloads with robots, you know what I'm saying? And then transfers all the data, the receiving, the payments, all of that stuff. This is a huge amount of information, and all this stuff is not the future, folks. This is now, okay? But the scaling of it is going to slow it down. And that's why some companies like LunarX and Skycoin have seen the future and are trying to solve these problems. So let's go into a little bit of the technical data and see how they do that, because it's just amazing. LunarX, and I'll be quoting from this that I mentioned earlier. LunarX is a middleware designed to enable distributed data services, which is like a bunch of fundamental protocols. It defines infrastructural services necessary for supporting the future network that we just talked about. dApps can have a node, and each of them can have a node in the network that provides services to each other no matter where they are, storing encrypted data. Shipping data centers, LunarX significantly reduces the cost of these services. It breaks down the paradigm of the blockchain. For example, proof of work, POW, and limitations of the blockchain, such as traditional data only for distributed storage, with frictionless developing ecosystem that leverages blockchain technology to deliver fast, simplified, yet sophisticated dApp middleware of gaming, social streaming, storage, and more, okay? That's a mouthful, but that's kind of what we just talked about in more simplified terms. To define what middleware dApps are, middleware software that acts as a bridge between the operating system and the database applications, especially on the network. It makes it easier for software developers to implement communications, input and output, so they can focus on the specific purpose of their application. Different applications can communicate by messaging frameworks like Simple Object Access Protocol, SOAP, Web Services Representational State Transfer, REST, and JavaScript Object Notation, JSON. So all these acronyms are things that maybe you're familiar with Java, but these are things that are applications that help framework for messaging and these different applications that are going to move us forward into the future with the things that we talked about earlier. The middleware performs communication functions. It can include security authentication, transaction management, message queues, application servers, web servers, directories. Middleware can be used for distributed dApps, which means decentralized applications. P2P networks, that's person to person. They are a type of software program designed to exist in the internet in a way that is not controlled by a single entity. So these dApps will be able to run on a network of computers or just between you and a certain person, giving you that decentralization that you need, giving you the security that you need, or giving you the ability to network globally that you might need, depending on how you set it up and what you do. It's decentralized. LunarX is decentralized, scalable, tamper-proof, anonymous data chain infrastructure for decentralized application dApps and their users. LunarX is a middleware designed to enable distributed data service. dApps can each have a node in the network, provide services to each other no matter where they are, storing encrypted data, responding to data requests while earning tokens at the same time. Skipping data centers, LunarX significantly reduces the cost of these services. Decentralized applications for dApps, that is the short version, dApps. You have them on your phone, apps, but these will be apps that are building the new Internet of Things, which includes blockchain, smart contract type things. The dApps do all of these things. See, right now, the blockchain, there's a lot of companies talking about building on top of the blockchain. Can't be done. But, Bitcoin only does so many transactions. You can't do Visa on blockchain. It's too slow. It takes forever. You think, oh, well, Ethereum, you see coins, that platform, that's going to be great. No, that's not great. I think it's around 10 or more, a little less than 10 transactions per second. You're going to have thousands of transactions per second to be able to do what we do now and to do what we want to do in the future, the things we talked about in the beginning, millions, okay? It's got to be infinitely scalable. That's what LunarX is doing. That's what Skycoin's doing too, by the way. But let's look at LunarX because they are going to build a vertical scalability that is just, there's no limit. So it's much more scalable than a blockchain, where it's just like this. If you're familiar with blockchain technology, it's very basic and but very secure. Centralized internet services will be replaced sooner or later. Last and are going to be part of it. Decentralized middleware, distributing computing functionality, basic functions that are needed. These dApps are going to be able to store, update, track, data structuring. LunarX developed DAG model for these purposes. dApps and LunarX and their users who subscribe to the services they can publish whatever they want. Both sides of the data centers and receivers, there's no longer need for a private database. The LunarX is an open network. So here's an example. Storage business provides a cloud storage application. Its clients may choose to submit the files to LunarX, and the business has no way to access these files. The only thing it is possible has the data that the only thing that's possible is for the data that the clients are authorized to use. So they can keep all this stuff in storage and then give access to who they want, when they want. It'll be just as secure or theoretically as secure as what you see in the blockchain that we talked about that is unhackable or hasn't been hacked. I shouldn't say inhackable, but very, very, very difficult. That's why nobody's been able to do it yet. Any user can join the LunarX networks and be a data service provider, selling your spare disk space to other peers in the network. LunarX employs an incentive blockchain to mine tokens during the repeated proofing of validated data. Computing blocks will be created and with them a certain amount of tokens. Excuse me just a minute. All right. Okay. They're going to be sent to the person's address who is providing the service. This could be storage, this could be nodes, this could be processing like a blockchain. we'll get into that a little bit. So here in a nutshell, the following participants are going to earn tokens, not only LX tokens, but also mainstream cryptographic currencies. They don't tell us which ones, but you know, I would guess that Skycoin and Sky Hours might be on that because of the partnership. Could be wrong. I don't know everything about it, but we'll go over what we do know. The miners are going to get paid. The auditors who audit and make sure there's no forgery nodes, they're going to get paid. The D-app suppliers are going to be paid. These are, you know, young people that are probably creating these apps. I've met a gentleman who has made an app or two, and so there's a lot of people that are into that, and here they are. They got an opportunity to make some money and help build a new internet. Users who create valuable services and products and tools via the D-apps. In the early version of LunarX, they will only support mainstream BTH and Ethereum and partner tokens. So that would include Skycoin, I would have to assume, because they're a partner. Periodic bulletin boards telling users how many tokens a registered service can exchange, and the exchange rate between the tokens. The pricing of services is determined by the D-app service suppliers. Let's get so hot in here. It's making my nose itch here. The following will pay for LunarX tokens. So LunarX systems will generate tokens for miners after proving the validity of data services. D-app users who seek. Secondly, who will pay is D-app users who seek useful services for their own needs. So anybody that wants to use this, it's a peer-to-peer network and a bridge, which will be tied in globally. The RX token and the LunarX token. Let's see if we can find something else interesting to look at here. Should be able to get this. Nope, that's not. Well, yeah, that'll work. Let's see. LunarX Middleware. Okay, there we go. Should be able to do that. All right. They're gradually going to release the RX tokens, and at some point they're going to invest them in scientific research, technology, education, things of that sort. The LX token is an asset that's issued on the Omni layer platform. So that's the same one that Bitcoin is on, very secure for the token. And they're going to release 100 million. If you have one Ethereum, that is going to be converted to 3,790 LX. There's no crowdfund, there's no ICO. The supply is 1 million. There will be 25 million for the core team, 55 million for the community of miners and rewards. There'll be 20 million for early investors. So that might be something you want to look into if you're into newer coins. The LunarX team has a lot of experience. So I was looking at this and I was pretty impressed. They have IBM Research Lab, Senior Vice President of Listed Companies and co-founder of MIT Science and Technology Review, founder and president of Halo, which is Japan's Uber, BitShare, ETH, earlier investors, etc. And then also you have Synth, the mastermind, one of the main, probably the main mastermind of Skycoin and an early Bitcoin contributor, and who saw the issues with Bitcoin and who saw the way these internet things were going to go way before anybody else that I have been able to find as of yet. And just an incredibly intelligent man and a wealth of knowledge to listen to. It's hard to absorb. You have to, if you're not super techie, you will. I'm a little techie, not a lot, a little, and you got to listen for a while to really get the language and understand this stuff. And it's worth it because this is what's happening. These are where your kids are going. This is the world. It's not coming in 10 years, folks. I think people who say 10 years are wrong. I think it's going to be in the next 5 years. You're going to see the whole world change a whole lot. And check out some of our older videos on business and Bitcoin and some of the subject matter, not the token reviews, but the subject matters. And you'll see some of that, the proof that I offer to show that that is going to happen. That's a whole nother subject. Skycoin fiber ecosystem and LunarX commitment to integrating into the Skycoin fiber ecosystem will play a key role in the future scaling of Skycoin platform and the partnership. So LunarX has enlisted the helps of developers from Skycoin fiber ecosystem project. This is really cool. They're going to put put their knowledge and skills together to help build this platform that's going to launch all this future technology that we've been talking about. The implication of these things, once settled with LunarX project development, will commence again on the SpaceCo project. Kind of a side point there. I'm not familiar with the SpaceCo project. I did not do research on it. So if that's something you're interested in, take a look at it. They're putting their finishing touches on their miner. There it is right there. And they are going to offer those. They do not rule out using DIY miners. And I could see them using nodes like Skycoin already is using the node miners with the little Raspberry PIs and the Orange PIs and different little computing nodes that you can use. I don't have any here, but you know, they use a little scan disk for the hard drive. And I built one, and it is running right now. I'm waiting to be whitelisted. I'm pretty excited about that. And it was hard for me to get it programmed and working. I'm still having problems with one of the nodes, but it's been a really interesting journey, and I'm getting more knowledgeable on it slowly but surely, right? So anyway, back to the subject here. This miner's going to earn BTC and LX at first, and the developers are urgently needed a universal middleware system that allows them to customize data schemes and structures, freely assemble basic services, vertically scalable, meet requirements of storage and query, the dApps. These are just kind of the highlights of some of the great things that the product and services are offering. So let us take a quick look at the, see if I can find the, okay, so if you go under facts and questions on their website, which is lunarx.co, you can get to their website. Let's see if we can get this thing. Here we go. All right, I've already looked through this earlier. What services does LunarX provide as a universal middleman? What are the developed apps? What kinds of API interface does LunarX supply? You know, they've got artificial intelligence. Will LunarX support all mainstream blockchains? No. Why not only blockchain? We talked about that. It's too slow. What kind of synergy and SpaceCo have? There's a little bit more in that SpaceCo. Who are the major investors? How do you intend to integrate the Skyfiber platform and partnerships? And where can I find information on the token? What are bridges? What benefits can LunarX miner get? Will it be possible to make a DIY miner? How does LunarX miner generate data blocks? Could you provide more information about healthcare dApp? Now, I didn't look into the healthcare dApp either, but that might be something you want to look into. It's up to you. Check it out. I think on the team here, they've updated the website, and I do believe you will see, where? Oh, there it is. So you see Synth there, and as an advisor. And if you're familiar with Synth, like I said, you will want to look into this company just because of that, in my opinion. So do your own research, but I definitely, Skycoin is my major investment, and I'm not paid to say this or anything. You know, there's risks with anything, but do your own research. So let's just look through the page here. Here's some of the stuff we talked about. I don't see much else on that. There's one other thing. Oh, you know what I wanted to share was, let me go to Skycoin.net. I have it on my phone. Go here. Okay, here we go. So when you go to Skycoin, remember there was a partnership, and they're going to be building on the here we go. They're going to be building on the fiber right here, and also the Skywire. So you get a little description here. The Skywire is the decentralized internet with wireless mesh network that pays you for supporting it. Fiber is infinitely scalable and highly customizable parallel peer chain architecture of the Skycoin platform. So this is a pretty cool partnership. I would just say, you know, do your research and get involved. And that's probably about all I have on this. I don't see anything going on. Nobody's asked any questions or anything. So I guess we're okay there. With that, folks, I would just thank my subscribers again. Thank those that put in comments. If you're not subscribing, we ask that you do to support the channel. And, you know, watch a video or two, check it out. We are slated, well, we're still working on speaking engagements here in San Diego County. It'll just be basic information. Everything's supposedly getting ironed out. I'm just waiting for a letter. Everything's been approved, so it'll be an educational program through the county and libraries and such. So I'm kind of excited about that, and hope to see some of you there and maybe bring in a few extra people into the ecosystem. What else? Check out our down below, you click the description and you'll see our links. We got our website there, mountaincrypto.net. I've got a few things up there, a few videos, a little bit of information if you're interested. And we have our social websites and things of that sort if you're interested in it. So check that out. And if you have any questions, you can email me through the website or whatnot. And if you want some coaching or something like that, you know, maybe we can work something out. All right. Take care. Thank you. This is your host with Mountain Crypto, Shane Ripley, over and out. Took me a while to figure out how to turn this off. Where are we? Here it is right here. And stop.